What you say now, there? Well, now it's the Toothless Wonder coming back with another yippee yow on the YouTubios demonstration, right? And I just had a passing thought that I just wanted to, delve into quickly before, again, I hit the gym, right? And I'll preface this by sharing a story today. Like, as I like to say, I got this from Rick James when he said cocaine hell of a drug, but I just interchanged cocaine with whatever word, like life hell of a drug. Anything's hell of a drug, right? Um, and I want to piggyback off, I think the Thinking Man's Templar did this video maybe a month or so ago about like survivor's remorse. Really, really deep, very insightful topic. And it made me think at the time. And then um, I'm I'm constantly growing, evolving, coming into new knowledge, adapting, so on and so forth, right? So I don't really suffer now from survivor's remorse or like in previous seasons of life, like, what I'm saying? Like, you want to take people with you, because, out of loyalty, out of love. Um, but in my naiveness, I didn't understand that. And I actually held myself back by attempting to look over people's, indiscretions and I seen it. It wasn't like I got duped. I just operate on a misplaced loyalty concept. Um, so I don't really suffer from survivor's remorse. It's more survivor's guilt in the sense of, granted, everybody got free will, but dang, like, and I be thinking like this, like, yo, what good is it if I get to wherever I'm going at or what? But I never influence or I don't see no change in anybody else around me. And that's what I'm going through. Like, the people who have been previously in my inner circle that is still, cordial love or whatever, or people that were in my inner circle in this season of life, they're all going downhill. All of them. Like, not that they're struggling in a particular area or a season of life or a hardship. Like, life is pounding them out. Um, I'll share this story. So I was at school earlier and my partner hit me, and he travels a similar path in the sense of like, trying to go hit, build, rolling dolo from state to state, you know what I mean, whatever. Um, so we have we know a mutual individual, even though we're from two like geographically separated places. But through the 7 degrees of such separation, come to find out, like, he's related to people I went to school with. We know similar people. Da da da. So in the town I grew up in, there's been a young lady that's been missing for about 9 days, and I seen it, on my email, like as far as newspaper, whatever, whatever. My partner hit me after I got out of school and gave me his number, said, yo, I got something drop on me, but I was still stuck in school trying to finish up this test. So he sent me an audio message through Messenger, in which an individual that I met in a previous season of life, who I'd seen maybe it wasn't a couple months ago, within the last 3 months, I just ran into him on a whim at the grocery store, and he was explaining to me, and I hadn't seen him on Facebook, so he explained to me how he got jammed up, and he had been locked up for like in the city for 8 months, parole violation, da da da, whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? We chopping it up, whoop the wop wham. All right, cuz, I'm roll, do do do. But at the time, he seemed different. There seemed to be, in hindsight, I would like to say his energy was darkened. He looked the same, whatever, whatever, but he was just different. A lot of times I'll perceive it as different, but I think it's me, right? Because I'm trying not to operate from a place of being puffed up in knowledge, right? Or thinking, you know what I mean? It's okay, cool, boom. Me and him, this individual, have a mutual friend, and they were hustling together. But I stayed well removed from that. That was what they had going on. When my partner hit me today, he basically said that they had found the missing lady, burning, or her body was burnt in a barrel in the county that I currently live in, and that he was the perpetrator and he was locked up in the town that I initially met him at. And I said, good God of mercy. Wow. And I'm gonna tie all this into survivor's guilt. Door dashing a little bit later on, and I seen a friend of mine's like older like he's not their father, but he's like the patriarch rather of the household, whatever. And it looked like he was just wandering the streets. And I know he get high, periodically, whatever. So I dropped my order off. I swing by, say you need a ride. You know what I mean? Just get him off the street. I took him back home. So he kind of lives on a kind of a narrow street, road, whatever. Back in, I come back out. So I'm ready to leave out this particular street. And he's back walking up the street. Because I figured he would look for some, like, crack rocks or something. And my heart just kind of like... And this brother, he's working on about 70 years old. And then he was saying how, like, their car had got hit, but their insurance and their tags weren't right, and so on and so forth, da-da-da. And I'm like, dang, So, of course, I sent a prayer up, Lord, watch over him. Because this elderly man who I respect, just for, his age or whatever, I don't want nothing to happen to him. I don't want to get a hold of no bad batch. But I can just see, and he was kind of intoxicated at the time, I can just see how lost everyone is. How nobody really truly has any peace that I thank the Most High for. Like, I go through certain frustrations as far as like goal setting. How do I do this? How do I, but overall I'm at peace because I seen or felt the desire to like leave the old world behind and my old friends, which typically in previous I couldn't do that. I'm like, they ain't did nothing to me. Why would I do that? Or I never wanted to be one of them type of brothers that, because I get to a certain level now, I don't know nobody. You see what I'm saying? Now I understand why like certain people like make it, quote unquote, and they never go back to their hometown or where they used to be from. Because they have no more connection there. They can't connect with the people they used to. You see what I'm saying? And thinking Man Templar covered that, like, then you go wherever and then you come back or you see an old homie or whatever. And it's not so much they've changed, it's that you've continued to grow and evolve and learn that you don't have the same connection with them anymore. Because you're not the same. And then it just kind of feels like, I don't know, like you're almost looking at a familiar stranger, which I know is an oxymoron. It's like the person looks familiar, but the version of who I am now, energy, spirit-wise, doesn't resonate with them, even though mentally I know this person from my past. You see what I'm saying? And it's kind of like, I'll be honest, it's kind of heartbreaking because my guilt comes in. I'm like, and I prayed about this, right? I'm like, I know we're supposed to attempt to, in life as, we get knowledge or whatever the case may be. But I'm like, yo, in my personal life, with people who in this current, evolution, season of life, whatever, or people that I've previously known that I was cool with, I feel like a failure to a degree because I'm like, yo, I can't help nobody, yo. And the reason I can't help them because they truly don't want to be helped. They don't truly want to change. I don't even see the desire. Now, people will talk about it, but actually even implementing small things to change, nobody. So if you're not on that path, and even if I'm struggling in an area, I'm still addressing, I'm still mindful of it, we're not going to resonate. And what will happen is, if I'm around you enough, you'll become envious of me because ultimately, and this goes for anybody, not just me, but I'll ultimately end up becoming a mirror. Like when I went through when I first went into my proverbial wilderness, that's the first thing the Most High did. Because I used to play the blame game and all like that there. But the first thing he did was show me myself. Even like with people that I've, since like cut off or just don't have no contact with them or whatever. And I say, man, they did me wrong, da-da-da, whoop. I ain't had no business fooling with them. And I knew that and still kept doing it, so that's on me. But once I took personal responsibility for the stuff that went on with me, all that stuff I used to like complain about or whatever, all that stuff stopped happening. It was like magic, yo. It's incredible. But that level of personal responsibility um, the victimhood or victimization. I've taken all that out of my vocabulary. And technically, like, I don't like making mistakes. Of course, I try not to. But when I do make a mistake based on me not having all the information or whatever the case may be, it's actually, I turn it into a good thing because now I've learned something I previously didn't know, so I don't have to keep repeating the same mistakes. So I try to walk a narrow path as far as like socially, but at the same time, I'm still open to, people with discernment. Um, and it's helped me kind of like when I like to call it my spidey sense, like Spider-Man, when that thing, like his hair stand up on his arm to let him know danger's or something's happening. Even if I don't have, like, I've learned to be more confident and trust in that because there's always been something to it. And now I like intellectual. I like, did I preemptively make a rash decision or da da da? But then later on through the dispensation of time, whatever whatever inkling I had about it, it was exactly like I thought it was. But it's not coming from an intellectual or a mental place. It's coming from a spiritual, instinctual place. So I've learned, like, to trust my instincts, but sometimes it affects me mentally, like, damn, not you. You know what I'm saying? Or like I had a black, sister attempt to put me into her plot as a cover for her to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Which I ain't gonna be a part of nobody's plot. And then I basically like just threw it out there just to like test her. But now because I'm under the belief that that was actually the case, now out of nowhere she stopped talking to me. Not that I care, but I'm like, wow. And when you're very empathetic, or or people perceive you truly have people's best interests at heart, or whatever, they will try to use that against you, thinking you're weak or thinking you dumb. When you perceive the mood the whole time, and then when they can't work you, they get mad with you because I sized you up wrong when I shouldn't have even been doing that in the first place. So of course there's no apology that ever comes or anything like that, and it don't come because they're not sorry. So I don't want it if it's not genuine. Like if I wrong somebody, I can't even sleep at night. I'm like, man, I gotta go make this right, yo. And I praise, y'all for that, ability. Um, but they're not sorry. And that's why I feel the need to like move very circumspect out here. Nothing is as it appears. And people's loyalties and disposition change overnight or based on opportunity. You know what I'm saying? That's never been me. Even in the midst of, my foolishness, I'm down for the cause. I'm, right, wrong, or different. Man, I know this gonna go wrong, but I'm in it, baby. Run it. You know what I'm saying? You don't meet people like that every day. They might talk about it. And that's another thing. Like, I don't, like, when people overly try to explain to me who they are, I don't believe them. Because I should just see it. But a lot of times, I never see the evidence of what you're saying. Like, if a woman says I'm wife material, but how I see you behave, I can't tell. Or, like, I know the other video I did, joint, where I was talking about, like people perpetrating on Facebook. Or I know, like, people who make these spiritual quotes, but they're like the most unspiritual people, or people who talk about loyalty and they're the most disloyal people I know. You know what I'm saying? And here's one thing, I like to like subliminally antagonize people, because like if I like make a post on Facebook, like nobody will like it, very few people comment, right? But if I post like a picture to my story, I'll get like 100 views, which lets me know these people don't really fuck with me like that, but they watching. Like Jigga Man said, the streets is watching. And sometimes I do it strategically just to like F with them. Cause I know you're gonna look at it. You know what I mean? Just to let you know I know. But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know, just got to brother a little like but in regard, I gotta keep pressing forward. because I've come too far to turn back. I gotta see the credits on this movie. I've been watching it too long to just quit, because things are starting to affect me, like emotionally or mentally, like that. What I'm saying? I had these various like intellectual questions, like why ain't none of my homeboys coming up that I know, or it's just part of the spiritual walk. And if I hadn't been prepped for this years beforehand, I wouldn't be able to operate what I operate now. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned from my past. You know what I'm saying? So I've been able to turn my experiences into a positive. You know what I'm saying? Instead of becoming bitter or complacent or anything along those lines. But I just want to come through with a quick one, man. I hope it helps somebody, man. I'm signing out. Ooh!